Good morning, everyone. This is Mitch. Hope you're having a great start to your Friday morning. We got you an update on what is going on with the winter weather that's moving in. It's ongoing in portions of southeast Louisiana, areas of southern Mississippi, and will probably work its way a little bit into extreme southern areas of Alabama with some freezing drizzle, things like that. There's a winter storm warning going on in South Texas, but I'm not seeing a lot of reports from this area based off radar scope. And then you have the winter weather advisory showing up for the Carolinas. The pinks is the winter storm warnings, and the purple is the ice storm warning. Not a whole lot's changed, and I think it will throughout the day. So if you guys have not subscribed, hit the subscribe button for me. Like the video if you like it. Thank y'all for the amazing support. It looks like this will probably be the last update I do on this storm, as tonight I will be soaking it all in my location here in central South Carolina. So that being said, we'll move on to a next topic starting tomorrow. But thank you all for the amazing support. It's really appreciated. So what we got going on here is, first off, we'll take a look at this precipitation down here in southern areas, like I said, the states I just mentioned, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. These little icons right here, I don't see any real sleet reports. All I see is freezing drizzle, freezing rain. So it's getting kind of icy down here. Temperatures are below zero in this range, below 32 degrees in this range. So it's getting quite icy. So we look over here and we look at Columbia. I'm going to go over to the Columbia radar here. Not a lot of moisture showing up right. There's a little bit of shallow moisture you probably can barely see on your screen. I can tell you at my house here in Lexington, South Carolina, it's about 34 degrees, so we're getting very close. So any kind of moisture left over out there will begin to freeze. So I will mention, things overnight, especially yesterday evening, have really trended towards more wintry weather, for more areas west. Now I'll mention that after midnight into the morning runs, the trend kind of stops. So for you folks way up in North Georgia, the mountains and things like that, I really think that the trend has kind of stopped, unfortunately for you guys. It's kind of leveled off. The HRRR model's in range where every time it runs, we get a new run. And it's just kind of ticking back and forth. One run will be a little more west than the other. One will tick back east. One will go back west again. So I'm going to show you all of that. Right now I'm going to show you who's below 32 degrees in the Carolinas. And in North Carolina, you got almost everybody below 32 degrees. Here in the South Carolina, the whole entire northern half is either at 32 or just below it or just above it. The Midlands is cooling off, like I said, my area. Here in the Midlands is about 34 degrees here between Columbia and Lexington, South Carolina. So the cold air is sinking in. Any moisture left over will begin to freeze, especially, even if it's not falling, especially as you get to about 30 degrees or lower. That's when it really starts to freeze up. So let's take a look at the latest GFS. I'll mention the overnight models went crazy, right? If you follow me on Twitter or Facebook, which are great places to follow me, or, if you want frequent updates, man, it just went haywire. It was the most aggressive northwest trend I ever seen in the last second. Since I've been watching weather, we've seen much more aggressive northwest trends, obviously, in weather history in the southeast. But since I've been watching in an area where I'm getting affected, this is the first for me. So as we're getting into this evening, the GFS, this afternoon, the GFS starts to really bring the frozen precipitation in. The purple is the sleet. The pink is the freezing rain. You got freezing rain as you're getting into about the 5 to 8 p.m. time frame tonight, getting all the way into Wilmington, Myrtle Beach, close to Charleston. And check it out. You go to the next frame. This is getting into late evening into almost the midnight time frame. So I'll mention, for you folks to Charlotte, to Columbia, maybe even Augusta, maybe even Greenville, Spartanburg, but especially my folks here in Columbia who have not seen an inch of snow or more in literally almost 8 years. If you want your kids, in fact, the new generation of kids have not really seen snow unless you've traveled to it. So if you really want to see snow tonight, I know for me and my girls, I'm really hoping this does not trend to crap here in the coming hours. But we're kind of nowcasting now anyways. I know for me and my girls, I'm going to keep them up and let them see the snow flying around, and hopefully it starts cranking up earlier this evening. But check it out. Look at this 4-run trend. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Let's go 6. 6 runs back. This is 6 runs back. This is 18Z of January 19th, so 2 days ago. We'll go all the way to the present run. Look how this has trended more west. See how it backs up more and more? Now it has this big band of heavy snow into the Midlands of South Carolina, into areas of the sandhills of North Carolina. So big time run for sure. This continues to pull on out. Some snow left over for eastern Carolinas and southeast Virginia as you're getting into Saturday morning, which I think there'll be a sharp cutoff for somebody in Virginia with the Delmarva Peninsula. I think y'all will get some good snow, but I think y'all will. It's just going to be a sharp cutoff, and it's impossible to know where. We look at the latest HRRR model. Check this out. This only goes out to 10 p.m., so it doesn't cover the whole storm. But as we're getting into about 1 p.m., notice this is about 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Obviously, it's in the Carolinas. We're on Eastern Standard Time. But look at the pink. That's freezing drizzle. A little bit of sleet popping up as far south as Columbia, Greenville, North Carolina, Fayetteville. A little bit of freezing drizzle. You're getting into the 3 to 4 p.m. time frame. The energy really gets more amped up, and then you're seeing where the snow, sleet, and freezing rain line is setting up here. Columbia, I think by middle of the afternoon, you're well below 32 degrees, and you're getting freezing rain, drizzle. In fact, I'm very surprised. They cancel stuff around here very easily here in the Midlands of South Carolina, and they did not cancel my wife's work. I imagine she's leaving early. But I think by the time, if you guys work a full 8 to 5 job, I really think by the time it's 5 o'clock, you're still going to already start to see icing in these areas. But you've got an ice storm cranking up in southeastern North Carolina, Greenville, North Carolina, Fayetteville. Wintry mix going on here. We'll continue to roll through here as we're getting into the later evening hours. I would say this is around, basically evening time, anywhere from 6 to 9 p.m., give or take. Notice this orange kind of color right here. That's sleet, trying to show where the HRRR model is trying to show sleet. You got an ice storm really just raging on here from all the way to, Barnwell, Orangeburg, the PD, especially eastern areas, the PD, Myrtle Beach, Wilmington, Newport, North Carolina. This is getting into later this evening. This is all freezing rain. But then you got snow on this backside. And how far west and northwest does this snow line get? For you in Charlotte, you're flirting with amazement or disaster. Luckily, you guys saw a little bit of snow flying around last night that put a dusting in certain areas. But Columbia, this would put us in a nice heavy band of snow for 1 to 2 hours as this energy really pulls away. And then as we get into the last time frame, which I think is about 11 p.m., not 10 p.m., a nice band of snow working through from the central areas of the Carolinas to the eastern areas. And then these areas who stayed ice, like Orangeburg, could begin to transition to sleet, then a nice coating of snow after a nasty ice storm. So we'll go on to the NAM. The NAM backed off a good bit, but here's the NAM. It still shows a nice band of winter weather pivoting through. I don't want to stay too long on this because I'm leaning towards the HRRR model. I really am. It did so well with the last winter storm here in the Carolinas and Southeast that it's hard to bet against it. But, that's what the NAM shows. You look at the latest Euro, which, let me see if the next Euro come out. Let's just stick with this Euro. That'll freeze up the video too long. But here we go, the Euro. This is in 3-hour intervals. We're getting into this this afternoon and evening. This is around late afternoon to early evening. The pink's the freezing rain. The orange is the sleet. And then check it out. It starts to expand west. See that darker color of blue, maybe a heavier snow band working its way through the Midlands and Southern Midlands snow all the way into basically southern areas of Virginia, making it all the way into the mountains. It's very close to Atlanta, right into here, but not quite. You guys are just not, it's just not going to be y'all storm unless this makes some significant trends west. And it could, it really could, guys. But we get into the overnight hours. Nice band of snow. Like I said, keep your kids up if they care anything about snow. But look at this freezing, basically look at this freezing line as you get into the overnight hour, dipping almost all the way to Savannah. This is freezing rain in this area down here. And just a nasty ice storm setting up for the coastal regions of the Carolinas. And this pulls through, and then it's on over. Everybody loves this model. It's the RGEM model. It's honestly, I'll tell you this. If this ends up verifying more wintry than for everybody, like kind of what this model shows, this will be a major win for this model because it has been showing a more colder and wintry scenario for the last 3 or 4 days now, and it hasn't really budged. But here you go. We're getting into, this is around 4 p.m. this afternoon. Freezing rain and sleet breaking out across the Midlands with some snow. ice storm cranking up. This continues to go, and then it quickly turns to snow this evening for areas of most of basically the central and northern half of South Carolina. Pink ice is going on. The purple, that's sleet. There's going to be a transition line. Someone's going to sit at sleet for a while. Wherever that sets up, it's going to be a crazy storm. I'm very, very, very excited to watch how this unfolds. But look at this darker blue showing up in the Carolinas right here. This is what that backside band pulls through, and I really think can dump a couple inches of snow on somebody that might not be expecting it in only a few hour period. And this pulls through, and then we're getting into 1-2 a.m. and starts to crank up in the eastern areas of North Carolina. And then as we're waking up tomorrow, hopefully we all wake up with all power, with a nice winter wonderland for areas who have not seen snow in a long time. This is the National Weather Service, the latest information. They're always going to be conservative, folks. So I know if you're looking here in the Carolinas and central South Carolina, thinking, well, that only shows a half an inch of snow, an inch of snow showing into the Midlands. They're going to go conservative. And the reason is because a lot of times these situations don't work out. They'll update their stuff throughout the day. Stay tuned for updates. That's why I mentioned follow me on Twitter, Facebook. But it definitely has an axis of nice accumulating snow for North Carolina sitting over here. Ice totals, they're not going conservative with this. And I really think that from Myrtle Beach through Wilmington to areas northeast of Wilmington up the coastline, could see some nasty ice. The ice totals, I think, have trended down a little bit for these areas in southern Carolinas, and we'll see how that unfolds. It's tricky, really is. We switched to the GFS. Everybody wants to hug the GFS if you're a winter weather fan. This shows 4 to 5 inches of snow in Columbia and 3 inches of snow in Charlotte. Nice jackpot area in the extreme eastern areas of the Carolinas. Heck, it even shows a nice band of snow through Charleston, Beaufort, Myrtle Beach, a few inches of snow. Wilmington gives y'all several inches of snow, but this is including sleet too, so remember that. But this back here is all snow. That's one solution. It's a GFS, right? So we'll look at the latest HRRR model, which only goes out to 18 hours. Remember that. It's still snowing at this rate. So this is to 11 p.m. It's still snowing. Already there's an inch of snow showing up from the latest HRRR model. Watch out, Fayetteville. And sorry, I got the hiccups. And these areas right in here, up into the kind of the PD, the northern PD of South Carolina, like the Pageland area, Chesterfield, maybe a nice jackpot area for a few inches of snow. But like I said, it's still snowing in this time frame. It's still snowing, so keep that in mind. As far as ice, this only goes out, like I said, to 11 p.m. But already 11 p.m. you have some pretty significant ice totals showing up in the coastal areas right down here. I'll mention this trend, guys, and what I'm talking about how this keeps ticking kind of all around. And I'll stop it right here. This is valid for 8 p.m. I'll go back a run. Look how the last run was a little bit more west. Then this run ticks east. It's pretty much staying the same the last 4 runs. It really has. If anything, altogether, it's kind of ticked a little bit further west. But yeah, I mean, that's about it, guys. It's a kind of a nowcasting thing, which means we kind of watch radar trends. We watch observations. How cold is it? And I'm going to be giving y'all updates all throughout the afternoon and evening and morning. But that's all I got, guys. That's pretty much my last video. I'm probably not going to make a video tonight because I don't do live videos, guys. I don't know if I ever will. I know I mentioned sometimes that, maybe one day I will. But to me, I don't know, I haven't mentioned this a lot in my beginning of my videos, but I'm a storm chaser at heart. I like being in it, and especially when it comes to winter weather. I mean, I don't think there's a lot of guys that do it. Ryan Hall's a great one, but I'm definitely not going to sit on my computer screen inside and definitely just kind of go over the radar with you guys for hours on end. That's just not me. I like to be out in it, and I know that helps out a lot of people, especially during a tornado outbreak. Especially, I definitely, people do a great job with that. But that's all I got, guys. I'm rambling on. God bless all y'all. I truly do hope that you guys see snow who want to see it. And I'm really excited. I'm trying to temper my excitement so I don't get set up for disappointment. But deep down, I'm very excited, like a kid in a candy store. So God bless all y'all. Have a great day and stay safe. It's going to get ugly out there for the people in the ice storm, so stay safe.